Oh, basically, cool something or somebody off is to 冷却下来，要来降温这样的意思哦。For example, I could say something like a swim cooled us off or cool us down a little.
That feels nice. All right. What is the difference between 七八 and 牛文水?
Yeah.
The article tells us. It says, while 七八 is served all year round, 牛文水 is a winter food.
Ah, there you go. OK, 所以奇葩在一年四季其实都吃得到哦。不过牛问水呢，就是甜汤的版本，是一款冬天的食物，所以你冬天才吃得到。那这里我们用来 while，OK，while 其实可以用一个前后子句的对比的意思，所以它可能类似像 but 或者是 whereas，OK，所以这个是我们的用法。不过其实 while 引导时间的副词子句的时候，就有当什么什么的意思哦。OK， 所以 while 有很多种用法啦。
All right, so you can't find 牛文水 in the summer?
No, I think it's a type of it's a winter food or dessert in winter.
Okay, well, I'll have to wait until next year to try it. All right, so we know it's a winter food, but the article also tells us 牛文水 was more common in the past when Taiwan was an agricultural society. It sounds like I might not get to try this dish. It's already April and it's not even common anymore.
No, that's true. OK， 所以牛问水呢，其实如果你们想要吃的话，因为它是在农业社会的台湾比较常见啦。Well, there are some parts of Taiwan that still have an agricultural society, so maybe you can travel there.
That's true, but we should explain what an agricultural society actually is, shouldn't we?
That's right. Agricultural 这个形容词就是有农业的啦，或是务农的、农用的意思哦。
Okay, so there was a special reason people made 牛文水. The article says, in those days, people would make 牛文水 to pray for a good harvest. Now we see our second vocabulary word. It's the noun harvest. It's spelled Harvest, harvest. A harvest is the amount of crops that are gathered in 1 year. For example, we could say, there were a lot of typhoons this year, so we haven't had a good harvest.
所以呢，我们来回顾一下刚刚文章提到，在过去哦 ，in the past， 人们是制作牛问水以怎么样祈求好的收成。这里的 harvest 我们来学习一下哦，当做名词它有收成、收获的意思，不过它也可以当做动词来用，有收获、收割的意思啦。For example, I could probably say something like the beginning of the harvest varies from year to year, or it's time for the harvest.
Why did they make this ma糬soup to pray for good crops, though? The article says that's because the food's name sounds auspicious to the Hakka people. Now, Laura, this word auspicious can be really difficult to explain, even in English. Now, it means to suggest that something will be successful in the future, but that's kind of confusing.
That's true. I'll try to explain this for you guys now. OK， 所以呢，大家可能不知道，因为对客家人来讲，这个食物的名字听起来是很吉利的。Auspicious 这个字，其实我知道你们可能会觉得有点难，我们来认识一下哦。它是个形容词，有就是好的兆预啦，或者是吉利这样的意思。
Now, I'd like to know what's in this hot sweet soup. The article has all the things we need listed right here. It says to make this dish, or to make the dish, you need hot ginger soup, brown sugar syrup, and ma糬. Now, lots of things to talk about in that sentence, all of them delicious. Let's start with the noun ginger. It's spelled Ginger, ginger. And it's the root of a plant that's often used in cooking. It's got a very strong flavor. For example, I always drink ginger tea when I feel like I'm catching a cold.
I like ginger in soup, but not so much in sweet things. Okay. 所以如果要制作这个那个料理哦，你需要准备热姜汤啦，还有黑糖糖浆以及麻糬。这里我们提到的 ginger，OK， 刚刚我有提到 ginger 就是 姜，所以像是姜饼人就是 gingerbread man. Okay, so now next we saw some other words like brown sugar, right?
Right. Well, just one quick thing about ginger. One thing I've learned about living in Taiwan is they're very lucky because ginger in Canada is too expensive to buy.
I didn't know that.
It's so expensive. So it's nice because you can get it cheap here.
Nice.
All right, so next we saw the words brown sugar. Brown sugar is just like sugar, but it's brown. Now that's because it comes from a dark syrup, which has a funny name in English, molasses.
Molasses. Okay. Brown sugar 呢，其实原来我们黑糖不是用 black sugar， 是 brown sugar， 所以要清楚哦。然后 syrup 其实就是糖浆，像是我很喜欢 You should know this maple syrup.
Yummy,
Very famous
yummy.
in Canada.
Okay, so you need hot ginger soup, brown sugar syrup, and mochi. That sounds pretty easy to make if you know how to make mochi, of course.
Of course.
So that's what we're going to learn next. The article says, press the pieces of mochi until they're flat and push a hollow into them with your finger.
Oh.
Now that sounds easy enough to do. Okay, let's check out this noun hollow. It's spelled Hollow, hollow. A hollow is an empty space inside of something. For example, we might say, look, there's a nest of birds inside the hollow of that tree. That means inside the tree, it's empty.
OK， 所以呢 ，Yeah, it sounds pretty easy， 就是把麻糬怎么样压扁后，用你的手指在中间印出一个凹洞。哎，这里来先学一下 ，hollow 就是凹陷，或是中间有一个中空的意思。所以 we often think of a hollow log or a tree, things like that.
Right. Okay, so the article tells us what the mochi should look like.
Yeah.
It says the finished mochi balls should look like a red blood cell. Now, I can picture this in my mind, but it's kind of hard to explain what it looks like. Do you think you could try?
Of course. Okay. 所以其实对了，用中文讲大家可能会比较清楚，就是完成后的麻糬看起来呢，大家可能会听起来觉得恐怖哦。A red blood cell 就是红血球一样哦。
Oh, go check your science books.
Yes, or Google it.
Right. Okay, so your mochi are ready with their hollows inside.
Yeah.
Now you've got to cook them. The article says, finally, boil the balls and add them to the soup.
Oh, okay. 所以最后再将这些麻糬把它煮熟，并丢进去热汤当中。What comes next?
I think you're supposed to eat it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, it sounds like mochi is a really important food in Taiwan. In fact, the article says, whether served alone or in a soup, mochi represents the cultural traditions of the Hakka people. Okay, we've got two vocabulary words to talk about in this sentence. The first one is the verb represent. It's spelled R-E-P-R-E-S-E-N-T, represent. So here, represent means to be a symbol of something. It's similar to stand for.
Yeah, we learned that earlier, right?
Right. So let's use represent in a sentence. The numbers 1 to 5 here represent how happy or unhappy you were with the restaurant.
That's true. Okay, 所以呢，无论是单吃还是配汤吃哦，这个文章都提到这个麻糬呢，其实都象征着客家人的文化传统。那我们之前是不是有学到片语 stand for or something is a symbol of something or it's symbolic? OK，那这里的 represent 也有象征什么、表示着什么这样的意思哦。For example, we could say something like the flag represents our country.
Right? Okay. So we also saw the adjective cultural here.
Yeah.
It's spelled C-U-L-T-U-R-A-L, cultural. Cultural relates to a particular society or culture and the way people in that society or culture live. So let's put it in an example sentence. Jonah is studying the cultural differences between these two Aboriginal tribes.
Okay, so cultural 就是文化上的，或者是 culture， 大家应该也比较熟悉它的名词，就是文化。所以我们可能会有文化冲击 culture shock because of cultural differences.
Right.
For example, there are some cultural differences maybe between Canadian or Taiwanese culture.
That's right. Okay, so finally we get to our last sentence. It's a good one too. It says, it's also a delicious treat for anyone who loves chewy food.
I love chewy food. 对那些喜欢食物带点有点嚼劲的人，麻糬一定是一道美味的点心啦。
Okay, well, I know I've learned some new things about mochi today.
I did too.
I hope you have too. But it's time to end our article with today's For You chat.